this podcast.
Waterpolo Expert Talk. Get the insights. This podcast episode is presented to you by the Perfect Goalie Academy powered by Mieze, your partner for targeted and individual goalkeeper training. Check out the website www.theperfectgoalie.com for more information. Welcome again. So we are live right now. I think I mentioned before that Vuk is maybe some minutes late, but I think to at least start the discussion at the moment. So maybe from your side, how is the situation in Greece or also in London regarding to water polo at the moment?
Okay, you want me to start for Greece? As I told you. Now we are the most important month. All the women and men championship will arrive to the end next month. We have the playoff. The month of May. May is always every year is the most important month for the clubs. For the titles and also for me as a coach of Olympiacos. We have to fight this season for. Two titles for championship and for the Greek Cup, and then we have also the challenge to participate one more time in Belgrade for Final 8. So till 5-6 of June we have a full 30 days and really interesting because before it was really boring, only trainings, practices, and not very often gaming. So now it's really, we enjoy it.
Yeah, so you enjoy it and you are really in front of the busy months then with May. So Sean, we are not really, have a busy months maybe in front of us.
I should have gone first because it's not as exciting as Greece. So no, look, like for anybody over 18, nothing happened yet for water polo. Obviously, anything outdoor, it's completely different, so things like football and rugby and cricket are all fine and you can play. But certainly from a water polo perspective, things haven't restarted yet. And to be honest, I'm not sure how long it will be till we have a situation where we can think about playing our national league.
Yeah. So we have quite the same situation also in Germany. So we are not really able to play or to train, at least for the normal clubs. So the professionals are able to train and able to play the first league or the Bundesliga and so on. So they are able to train, but the rest is really. Oh, we have another participant. Good evening.
Hi. Evening. Sorry that I'm late. I was on.
So you're not the last one. So because I already mentioned
too much practice.
Yeah. I expect the British and German to be on time, but I didn't expect Vlachos.
You see.
So surprise.
As you're thinking, yes.
Yeah. So no, sorry. Just on the pool, I drive like a maniac, and 3 minutes late. Okay.
Yeah. So So you stay on the pool today. So Vuk is also on the pool today because he is in Potsdam this weekend. But the pool is near to the hotel, so he will join us from the hotel hopefully in some minutes. So what is so we are already discussing the situation in each location or country at the moment. So when you were saying you're coming directly from the pool, driving like a maniac, so what is the situation on your side today? Also at the moment.
Well, the situation is getting a little bit better, especially in our area, and we have some tourists last 2 weeks, and entrance regime is eased up because of the vaccine and everything. But still, it's not like in normal times. Finally, we have a nice weather because this was, I don't know, very bad winter. But today was.
So the next one, the next one with the good weather here, I think. So it's unbelievable. So in many cases, you're in a better position than us, I think. So you have the best weather. You are able to train. You have tourists. So there's nothing more. So I mentioned before that we are in Germany not really able to train. And but when you say also you mentioned the final 8 coming up in the next couple of weeks, is there any or are there any preparations for show running at the moment? So you're doing really the final things, maybe. Maybe you can tell us about the final preparation for the final 8.
You're asking me or Vlachos?
Whatever you want. So it's not for sure or myself.
I will give the mic to the more experienced one. So
okay,
Thodoris, please.
For me, it's very simple. On Wednesday we start the playoff, and we have to play every 2 days. The semi-final, final, probably if we qualify for the final. And then immediately we have the final 8 of Greek Cup, and then after final 8 of Greek Cup, just 1 week to arrive in Belgrade. So we will not have time to have a special preparation for final 8. Just we will use these games, the playoff, to have a really better rhythm and better condition, and then to rest 1 week, to prepare some details especially for the first game, because we don't know if we will have next game, but the first game is really always the most important, and that's all. We don't plan something more.
Okay, so there's nothing special, let's say that way. Yeah. So you play every 2 days. So
yes, we don't have time. We don't have time.
You know, each game is a final, at least you mentioned. So from your perspective, at least a simple one.
Yes. Okay. We expect to arrive to the final, but again, we never know. You know, this season it's not like previous seasons. We don't have the much stronger team in Greece, and the other clubs, Viliagmeni and Apollon, really are very more close to our team. So I believe that we will play really very interesting games and very close games. So I hope so that we'll win again, but you never know.
You never know, yeah.
A friend of Veiko, Kolyan in Viliagmeni, is waiting for us, to kill us. So have two Croatian players in Viliagmeni, always we have some Croatian stories to be involved with the Olympiacos and the Greek waterpolo. Always we have.
It's just destiny. It's destiny to be connected.
Destiny, bravo, destiny.
But we are really connected. I mean, last 5-10 years, really, there is a great connection between Croatian and Greek waterpolo. But good one, I think, good one. Good one.
Good one.
And so mentality is probably very similar.
Yeah. So what is the preparation for you then, Vjeko, at the moment?
Oh, well, it's
quite the same, maybe.
Mostly the same. We have in 1 week time we have finals of the championship. We're supposed to play today with in semi-finals, but in quarterfinals, the 2 teams that one of those teams should come to face us. Well, they have corona cases, so they postponed their game. And we still do not know if we're going to play semi-final and if we're going to play only 1 game, probably at Tuesday. But maybe we will not play because still the situation is unclear. We expect to go into the finals, although this season is very difficult for us. We have, especially after Rotterdam and Olympic qualification, we have really hard time for let's say more than 1 month, and we lost some games against the teams that were certainly below our quality. So we cannot be sure about going into the final, but we expect and hope that we will. So we are mostly now focused on the domestic championship and preparing ourselves for that. As we didn't have any time for preparation since December, so we spent last 4 weeks preparing ourselves mentally and physically. And when we finished with Croatian Championship, then we will start preparing for our opponent on a Champions League. Although this is certainly the most significant tournament of the year for everybody who participate, but we really don't have any time now to focus on that. So 95% we are on domestic championship.
Yeah. So when I understand it correctly, so really in Croatia and maybe in Greece, there is a similar situation that the other teams in the league are really closer to your teams as in the last couple of years, right? So
yes,
I think Vlachos, you mentioned that during our discussion also, that it's maybe also an advantage that the Champions League is, or the championship is really closer this year. So in terms of quality, maybe also for the national team.
Yes, really, it's much better because every game you have to prepare for every game. You have to be ready. The players, the coaches, everybody has to expect any result. So. This is much better for the players. I believe that it's really much better for the national coach of the nation.
So in your special case, you are really both positions in one place. Yeah. So
of course. So
So
I remember previous years that we won every season the Greek Championship 3-0 and easy. So. We never prepared for any final, so this is not good. And we're waiting just to play to the Champions League, but we needed to have some special preparation before to go to the Genova or Hanover or somewhere else. But now I believe that we can use these games for a very, very good, strong preparation.
So, Sean, maybe the question for you. So you're not really preparing a national team or a Champions League team or whatever. So what is your preparation or your main area or main focus at the moment? So in school areas, maybe with your boys and girls.
I mean, and it's not really even just water polo. Like for us, it's just getting kids back into sport. So a completely different level to you guys. And I thought it was interesting. None of them gave much away there, Andreas. None of them said too much. Just a little bit of preference. we might be talking to the two finalists here, I think.
Yeah. So keep the final secrets maybe for you.
Yeah, sure. I expected that. But no,
last piece.
For us, it's literally it's getting sport up and running again. I think everybody in the room, like I think the same for Vjeko and for Theodor, like the financial impact on all sport, we may not know it yet, but it's been big, so there are so many sports and clubs and we don't know if they'll return, so for us, it is very much sort of baby steps of like what these guys are sort of preparing for is like a dream, for me, for the country. For us, it's baby steps of just getting back into sport. And I think we'll all agree to just get this period behind us. And I mean, can I ask those guys a question, Andreas? I mean, like from my perspective, sort of,
yes,
how have you? Sorry, I've started anyway. How have you? I mean, obviously, I think I know the answer, but what's it meant for you guys? I know that you would be meticulous of your preparation, not potentially playing tomorrow, Vjeko, not playing till Tuesday. Like, how have you coped with that? As in, what you ordinarily wouldn't face that, you would have a set fixture list, things changing all the time. Have you found, are you a better coach as a result of it, or are you hoping that we never have to do it again?
That's a good question. Okay, so this is very difficult season for everybody. Not 2 seasons now. The ending of the last season and the whole this season is very difficult, and there are some things that we are facing that I faced and the team faced that I never experienced before. So I have to tell that mentality of the team is not the same, because there is great uncertainty about everything. There is no calendar like it used to be. We had quarantine for a few times during the season, and we on top of that we had a qualification tournament for the Olympic Games, which always is very difficult tournament. But this season I think that the level of difficulty is raised even further. And certainly it was not the ordinary season. It's very difficult to have the plans of your physical and mental preparation, especially physical, because all of these things, because we changed, for example, Final Four of our cup. We are changing the schedule of our games. And this is the season where we mostly play on tournaments rather than in the league format of competition, which is absolutely difficult to prepare the team for all the challenges, especially if you are not the team that have 14 players on the same level, and that you if you have one injury or anything. So I really hope what you said, that we're going to be better coaches after this season. If we survive this season, if we survive all these challenges that we have, certainly I would like to get things back into normal shape. The calendar, Champions League, we teach round separately. You know, this was. The Champions League was absolutely devastating for I think for most of the teams, and you could see the results that they were really. Maybe it's good for the public to see maybe some results that they are not expected, but it's absolutely it was very hard to prepare the team and to go on this type of competition.
You know, for me, it was really much different situation, because especially for this season. Okay, last season, after what happened in March, suddenly stopped everything, and we didn't know what was going to happen, because 3 months we stayed at home and without any practice. But in the summer, we started to think that, to believe that this season that we are now, we're going to play everything in normal way again, and like many years ago. But finally it was not like this. But for me and for my players, most of the players in Olympiacos are members of national teams. So we had really a great big goal this season, a big target for the qualification for Olympic Games. And when you have in your mind, you are thinking something that is going to happen in February, and you live for this moment. I believe everything was much better for me, much easier for me to control the players, to have practice with them, to be ready not only physically but also in the mentality. But was the difficult for me was to have a normal preparation without games, without games, Greek games in Greek Liga, different way of Champions League in the bubbles, not 1 or 2 games every month. And I had to find some really good solutions to prepare them and to make them to be ready in February for Rotterdam. But as I told you at the beginning, the goal was really big, and sometimes when your players do everything you are telling them, so it's easier to have a good result. And yes, that was the first step, and then now we have again. Talking to you now like as a national coach, but the most of the players of Olympiacos, 9 players of Olympiacos are members of national team, so it's much easier for me. And I have also 2 Americans, and also they are members of US team. And also we can. Everybody now is thinking Tokyo, so it's much easier. I believe that you understand me. Yeah. The only thing that I had to find find out some ways to change my practice, to find another type of practice to prepare them in a different way. Only this, but it was really a difficult season, and we didn't play any game with our fans, because it's hard to play without fans. It's not you don't enjoy the game, Okay, the results are good, but you are alone in the pool, and you are alone, and you go again. You go out of the pool, and again you are alone. So this is what I had to answer you. I believe, I don't know if are you satisfied from what I told you, but
more than satisfied.
So maybe this make me really asking another question. So Sean, we are already in the first part of the podcast. We're discussing your special moment from your Olympic Games in London, where we are talking about exactly this kind of situation or question. Yeah. So the Olympic Games or Olympic game without audiences, without the fans, and so on. So it's not really quite the same. But your answer was to that. There's a gold medal at the end, yeah. So there's nothing written on the medal saying, okay, you win this medal without any audiences. So maybe what is the feedback or the opinion from both of you, Vjeko and Theodor? So on this, so regarding the game in the Olympic pool without audiences and fans. So you already mentioned that it's not quite the same game, yeah. So without the fans. But at the end, there are medals has to be delivered. Let's say it that way. So it's not really quite the same, because Sean, maybe you, at the beginning, you describe, please, your special moment for you in London. So maybe to make it a little bit clearer what I mean.
Yeah. So, so my special moment was the first time we walked out, and Vjeko will remember it, I'm sure, the double doors that opened before you entered the poolside. And look, I think I said on the last podcast that Theodore, in the UK, I'm used to being watched by a man and his dog in the crowd. We don't get a crowd. My mum and dad are there, but otherwise there's not many people. So when we stepped out to 5,000 people, it was just incredible.
There were 6,000.
It's even worse.
When Croatia were playing, there were 6,000. But my special moment was that walking out. That this moment was as a boy that lives in London, grew up in London, and was playing a home Olympics in London. This was my real special moment, and a very emotional moment. Not playing at all, not opening ceremony, not closing ceremony, but that one moment.
Yeah, so maybe from Vjeko, maybe Sean mentioned that you are maybe knowing this situation. What is your opinion on that? So it's different, but at the end you are the Olympic champion when you win the gold medal match, or each match.
Regarding the public on the pool and playing without the public, first of all, I think that we are all happy that we can play anyway. We finished our championship last summer, which was a great benefit for us, and even with the public. But after that, we are playing every game without public. Okay, most of the games are on broadcast on the television or via live stream. So maybe we have even more spectators or public watching us, but certainly the situation is not normal. At the beginning, you are very happy that you can play. Later in the season, my feeling was, that somehow it all is losing some kind of the sense, and especially, for example, you get the Olympiacos are the clubs that are heavily rely on fans, and public, and you really missed someone, at least one person to be on the stands and shouting something to you, bad or good. So you miss these things absolutely. Regarding the Olympics, I'm sure that it will be on the highest possible level, and that we will enjoy it in our homes watching this. How Mr. Vlachos will, sweat every game. But certainly without the public, it will not be the same. This moment from the Olympics, I played on 3 Olympics and participated as assistant coach on 4th one. For example, in Atlanta, we played the finals against Spain, and we have I think 10,000 spectators on the pool. They were not close to the pool, so really you didn't have a feeling of so many audience, but there was 10,000 spectators on the pool. In London, the organization was perfect, and I remember those double doors, and we played the first game of the tournament in the morning against Greece, and our head coach, Mr. Rudic, was suspended for that game, and Fatovic was the head coach. I was the second coach, and we really didn't expect, Hi
guys.
Hi, Vuk. This is we're gonna take from your salary. This is 30 minutes.
Sorry about that.
So you have a salary.
Yeah.
So this was stepping up. In 9:30 in the morning and seeing 6,000 spectators cheering for you, that's awesome feeling. And basically this is why you play this. So you're losing the core of why are you playing this. But anyway, this will end hopefully from the September or from the next season, from the next year. We will have a situation that we'll have public on our pools, and during this Corona crisis, it seems to me that at least on a club level, that water polo survived. And regarding the major countries in water polo, I think that we went through Corona at this level, at this moment, better than we all expected, and we didn't lose our grip from the sponsors or from the public, from our share of the cake, of someone who is watching us. Hopefully it will stay like this or even better. I really hope so. But for us, I think that I said this on last podcast, water polo is in Corona for 80 years. So for us, this situation is not so difficult to go through.
Yeah. So really going a step backwards from the Olympic Games back to the Champions League. So maybe the Champions League or the Final 8 should be hosted in Hanover this year. It was really based on this coronavirus, giving back to the place it will happening right now. So are there any, or did you have any problems or difficulties in the organization or in the preparation for the Final 8 because the location was changed? Maybe not.
We did not.
So it's quite the same.
No.
The same. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Vuk. So everything okay in Potsdam?
Yeah, we are on the preparation with the under 15 boys. We are prepared for European games and for a qualification. They're going to start, I think so, in the end of May in Croatia, in Šibenik. Yeah, it was first training, first practice. Yeah, it was nice to see so much boys, and yeah. I'm excited to see what's happened in the next 2 days.
Yeah, so at least you have the opportunity to see so many boys in the pool and in the water. So Sean, are there any special questions you have? Maybe I would hand it over to you. Again,
I've got one actually.
Yes.
For Theodore. So obviously, you may well have discussed this before on your last podcast, but do you ever get any time off? As Olympiacos and the Greek coach, obviously, it's you must be the busiest man in water polo. You play every championship with the club, and then
No.
Do you get a chance to wind down? Do you get the opportunity to step away from polo?
Not really, no. And I'm in this situation since 2015. With both teams, with Olympiacos and national team. And as you know, when I finish with Olympiacos, immediately after 3-4 days, we start every summer preparation with national team. And because every summer we have something very important, some important games or World Championship or European or Olympic Games. So really, I don't have any time. Also, I need more time, double time to follow the teams or the clubs or the national teams, in the weekends and just to prepare some things. But this is my life now, last 5 years, and I don't know what's going to happen if I will stop from one team. I will have really a lot of time, and I don't know how I will spend this time.
What should I do with all my time then?
Yes. Okay, every year after the summer big tournament with national team, I have probably 20 days in August, to have some holidays with my family, because my daughter is waiting for me, like crazy to go to the Greek islands. So this is my rest, and then I start again with the preparation. But okay, really I enjoy it, and really I'm still full of energy, really.
Vlachos, you come from Volos, huh?
You know more details.
Yeah,
I know that you like Volos.
I like Volos. Really, it's a really nice place. I was there, and in the Pelion is really nice. Yeah. It's a small city, but I think so. Yeah, really nice.
It's in the middle of Greece. Around. You have a sea and really Pelion, a good mountain. You can ski. You can skiing and see the view is the sea. It's really amazing.
Yes. But Vjeko don't have. There's this problem. I think so. He is more in Montenegro. He lives in Montenegro than in Croatia. But they don't have nowhere to go skiing. But it's okay.
Vjeko is complicated. Yes.
Yeah.
Vjeko is from Zagreb. He lives now in
who knows?
I'm a city boy. Yeah, city boy went to village.
Yeah, from city to village.
But Mr. Vlachos, I understood your point that we are all invited to Volos.
Oh, of course.
I got that.
So,
really.
So let's book tickets, okay?
Ask Vuk is a really very beautiful town. Really beautiful town.
It's beautiful town. Really. Yeah, Vlachos. I know. You can eat really good. You can swim good. Skiathos is 2 hours, I think, so from the.
Yes. It's really 3 hours from Athens, and from Thessaloniki is in the middle. Yeah. But okay. Yeah. Also, I born there, but I'm in Athens. I live in Athens last 30 years. So I live more years in Athens than in Volos. But my parents are there, so I visit them very often.
So this would mean that we make the next live talk then face to face, or what?
Volos, of course.
I thought waterpolo podcast, but this is touristic podcast.
So we are trying to cover all the interests of the audiences here. So we are also able to give some tips and tricks for traveling. So at least when we're able to travel again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment it's maybe not so easy.
So we come water polo. I have one question.
So we come back to the topic. Yes, Vuk.
Yeah. We come back to the topics. Sometimes when I watch the Greek players, how to take the ball in the water and all the stuffs with the ball, it looks amazing. I think so. You have better players, right-handers on the right side than much left-handers in the world, and I think so. It's amazing to see how it's for example Milonakis. It was for me one of the players on the right side. They took the ball really nice and how goes to score. It was really amazing. So can you explain us something about that? How they are trained for these movements?
First of all, we don't like left-handers. We don't like.
Okay, so this is the wrong information for me.
We don't need left-handers, so we like to play only with right-handers, and we push them. We force them to use their right hand better than left-hander. So okay, we don't do something special, something extraordinary, or something that it's a secret. But okay, it's important for us, if you don't have a left-hander, to have a really better technique and to do more exercises and more time in this part of in the practice about the technique. So nothing more. But I believe that one player, when he's a right-hander, plays in this position, he tries more. He forces himself to really to improve more and to be ready and all these things. It's not easy, but okay. We had I was very lucky that I worked many years with Milonakis and Vlachopoulos, and now still working with Genidounias. Okay, really they are great players, and they can play both sides. And I believe will come younger players because still we don't have any left-hander really. And also in the small younger ages we don't have. We have a joke.
Maybe you're not asking for them.
Yes, we have a young boy now. This is a joke, and in our club he plays for another club, for Chios, but he started from Olympiacos. He's not good a player, but okay, we let him to practice with us. He's left-hander, and the way that he make passes and shoot, one of my players told me, really, he's not left, he's right hand player, and he's trying to use his left hand. So it's amazing. We're laughing because we have only one, and he is very bad. Very bad.
Does he speak English, Theodore?
But okay, not something special. We have us. All the coaches in this level, we try to improve the technique of the players. But one right-hander, his position must try more. So I believe that this is the secret.
Okay.
So the secret is there's no secret.
Yeah.
No secret. Yes, there is no secret.
Yeah. So Vuk, so it's not really a practice tip then.
I know, but yeah, we to live with that.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Don't pick any left-handers, Vuk. Is the way forward.
So I told you that is the right information for me personally, right?
Yeah.
So when Vuk is not picking any left-handers, so I have a problem. So at least not from my perspective, so my personally. So it's I think you know what I mean.
Yep.
Oh. So maybe coming back to the topic. So are there any other things you have a question on, or so, because we are not receiving really any questions from externally, some from Facebook or YouTube or whatever. So Sean, maybe you have another one? For sure.
I guess my only other, and this is a difficult one for Theodore because obviously he's involved, but I guess I'd be interested to know who yourself, Vuk, and Vjeko feel perhaps has the best chance of winning in Tokyo. Obviously, like I said, look, it's a gold medal, and the gold medal's not going to say that nobody was there to watch it. So I imagine that the level, like Vjeko said, the games are going to be at the highest level. I'd be interested who they think may well go that extra to secure the medal.
For me, I can answer on your question. I'm not on the Vjeko's position or Vlachos, but I think so. I believe in Greece every time. I believe in Greece, but I don't know. It's like there every year or every Olympic Games are three teams there, and I think so. We need some changes. I think so because Serbia and Croatia, and they're every time on the top. You saw the games. Croatia played really bad at this qualification tournament. They had a little bit luck on the penalties, but I think so. They're more in Greece, but I don't know if it's now Tokyo really good moment or it's Paris. I believe in Greece every year. I believe in Greece. Really, the style of playing and everything. It's really nice, but I think so. At the moment, maybe I give to Spain. And then maybe I don't know what's the final game, but for me it's now Spain is one of the maybe most prepared team in the world. It's for me. I don't know Vjeko's winning.
Yes, I agree. Like I like the Vjeko knows that I have a tenuous link to Mr. Munares in that I played with Alberto when he was a 17-year-old boy. So I guess I have a bit of a soft spot for Spain. But I like the way the Spanish, like if my tip would be Spain, but I still think you can't rule out Serbia, Hungary, Italy, Greece, like the list goes on, and I think on the podcast I did last week, I said that, yeah, look, Croatia was poor in the qualification tournament, but you cannot rule them out. You cannot say for sure that they will not be in amongst. Vjeko, come on then. Who's going to win it?
Tell us, Vjeko.
Who's going to win it?
Easy question.
I'm placing the bet tonight.
It's really, for me to speak about it, it's really not so easy. Well, I'm really bad at predictions anyway, but I'm hoping for a good tournament. So okay, I don't think that all the teams will come from the same spot. So, for example, I know that Australia will probably go directly to Japan and without too many games before. And they didn't have a championship. They didn't have a chance to meet for last 1 year, more than 1 year. United States is throughout whole Europe, and they will also have a different way to prepare themselves for the Olympics. Maybe it is better for both of these teams, this change, or maybe they will produce a better result. But they are coming certainly in not the way they would like to. European teams will probably and hopefully come after good preparations. And when we speak about European teams and the ones that can take the medal, Greece, Italy, Spain, Hungary, Serbia, Montenegro, Croatia, it's all different style of playing, basically. And you need many things to come into line, to reach the finals, to reach the gold. And certainly there is experience, there is a hunger for the medal. You need to have strong goalkeeping and very strong defense. and you have to have a good counter attack, and then you have to have at least one or two good centers, to build up your. So this is Greece, this is closest to Greece. No, but this is all the things that you need to have. One other thing will also be crucial, and this is the style of the refereeing, because the style of the refereeing in the Champions League and on qualification tournament is not the same. So it was much softer in Rotterdam, if I saw it correctly during the broadcasting of the game. So this is also very important thing, and the teams who will adjust themselves to the referees. So I think that every European country that I mentioned has good and solid foundation to go for gold medals, and let's sit down and enjoy the show. So.
Bravo. With a beer.
With the beer.
And we will fight in Tokyo, and you will enjoy with a beer.
I will have I'm a coach of under 20 junior team, so I will work, but not like you, regarding just to come up with the. When you had a question about two positions, I really admire all you coaches that can guide the national team and the club, any club. But as stronger the club is, the job is more difficult. So for you, Gojkovic, Savic, when he was doing this, I'm really, I'm really admiring you guys, that you can be focused, because this is two different programs, two different lines of calendar, mentality, and everything, and from one to other is very difficult, believe me, because I have a problem, focusing on when I'm with the club, focusing on junior team, which I need to lead this summer. So this is extremely difficult, and only the best ones can do it. That's my honest opinion.
So what is the one saying in the round here? Who's doing this kind of job with two teams?
the coach from Olympiacos, I think. But he has, we are very, rich sport, so we have many assistants. So basically they are doing the job, and the head coach just comes to the pool. And
so the head coach is joining the podcast and everything. Yeah. So maybe in the meantime we have received a question, maybe for both of you.
I see it. Yeah. Okay. So I can go first one. Huh? Well. It's I wouldn't comment too much during because the season still didn't end. So there are lots of rumors last 2 months regarding the transfers, and so at this point of season, when we go to crucial games, really I don't think that it would be wise to comment on these speculations, because there are lots of speculation. There is where there is smoke, there is a fire. But again, there is a lot of speculations. What I can say really, that there are many players from Olympiacos that I would like to lead and have in my team. But regarding everything else, the transfers, the market is going, we can say, wild in last 2 months. During last summer also, the situation was better than we expected, and now the transfers, this gossip around the transfers are starting to heat up. So I think this is good for water polo, but I think that we need to wait until the end of the season to see what will end and who will go where.
Yeah. So it's maybe not possible or not fair to comment any or give any comments on these kind of rumors you mentioned. Yeah. So because
I can say that, for example, for one Greek player that is in Jung for last 3 seasons, Papanastasiou, that he's an excellent player. That the Vuk mentioned that about the technical things of Greek players, and he really is absolutely educated, extraordinary, and this is what we saw from many Greek players. All the Greek players that are close to the national team. Vlachos just went out.
So we are losing. He's not able to comment on anything, so he's left the room. So hopefully it's only a networking connection. Yeah. Sean, maybe you are really working with kids in water polo, or only with kids. So what are you saying to them? Really, so we are also discussing this during the podcast. You giving the vision to them, or to give them some advice for the future.
Yeah, I guess like we said on the podcast, like we got some money. So UK Sport gave us some funding, and so the rules have sort of changed a little bit in the UK as well. So many clubs, and I guess I know a little bit about Vuk. Obviously, in having been and spoken to Vjeko at length, I know bits about what happens in Germany, but certainly in the UK, kids didn't start to play water polo till they were 11, and now. Basically, the rules allow for kids as young as 7 to basically be insured as players, which it doesn't sound that extravagant, in a much more powerful country. But for us, obviously, to start to have much younger kids playing, and what's really encouraging. I'm going a little bit off your question, I think, but there are several different people now that are starting swim schools. Are incredibly popular in every country. I've seen the swim school in Vuk. It's full of kids. There are people that are starting to create water polo swim schools. So you learn to swim and then you learn to play water polo, which I think is a massive thing for the future of the sport in this country. So that's a really positive thing. But for the juniors, I think that I remember talking to Vjeko and him saying exactly that about us living with coronavirus for our entire life. And I really feared what would happen, to water polo full stop, not just in a small country like mine. From my end, like things have actually been really positive. But I'm very fortunate that my school has a pool and the kids have been able to access it, and for the majority, that hasn't been the case. So it's, the idea of games and fixtures. And I mean, I'm so jealous of Vuk that Germany's under 15s are together and they're starting to prepare. This was our dream, was to have an under 15 team competing now. It's probably not going to happen in this country to have a British team. So yeah, I mean, it's still very much a case of hopefully the future looks brighter for us. But for now, the disparity in what people have been able to do in this period as men, it's going to take a long time for us to be back to any sort of normality in the sport. And when Vuk sends me back my player, hopefully my team's results will be better than they are. I've got to wait for him to send, if he sends him back. Yeah,
maybe I will. I've been thinking about it. Maybe we will see in the end of the season. No, in Germany it's the same situation. We have now our preparations for under 15, but it was difficult to organize everything. We have a whole medical team here to prepare everything, to give us okay, you can go to the qualification tournament. But really, believe me, it was really difficult. What is the good thing in Germany? You can have a practice just like normal, and if you have training in some I don't know how to name Stützpunkt. Andreas, can you help me? If you are in some, it's doesn't matter which one, but if you are a player, you're playing in this team, you can have just normal practice. So this is this is for these boys really good during Corona. They are trained every day, 2 times a day, and they have online schooling. I think so. It's better than just like normal time when they are going to school. So, but we don't have any games, and the kids didn't play some games about 2 years, 1.5. This is I think so the biggest problem. Yeah, we're losing generation. We don't have school learning, swim learning, and all this stuff, and without that we will have really big problem in few years.
Yeah. So and as you mentioned, it's really only a small number of players or kids who are able to train in these kind of centers in the area. So any other kid or any other club is not able to train, and then you do not have really also no competition. So you only have to practice, and this is I think we already mentioned this at the very beginning. It's very boring at some time. Yeah, so it's not really not the easiest situation, at least for kids, to train without any target. Yeah, any target, any target for themselves, target for the club, target for the team. So you name it. Yeah, so it's really not. So which is the same situation also for professional players. So it's not only for kids, but I think for kids it's really an extraordinary, difficult situation then. But I think you really both, Sean and Vuk, you already had mentioned the connection between Hanover and London. So what maybe you can tell us a little bit more about this connection?
Sean.
Vuk nodded at me, so I think I better go. So essentially, as I said last week, one of the guys that is from my school is obviously with Vuk this season, having been with via Vjeko, we'll say. So first stop Dubrovnik, second stop Hanover.
So it's third stop London.
Hopefully he'll come up. He's French as well, just to throw it in the mix. His parents are both French, so he's
so it's also a question of budget, money, and
I haven't got any money, so there's we can't afford to bring him back. So obviously when did this happen, Vuk? This happened sort of last summer, didn't it? Towards the end of the start of the summer. That Vuk, having met him in Dubrovnik, they happened to be at the same time. I think you contacted his parents, didn't you, Vuk, and asked if it was possible. And so mum rang me, and the boy was really worried what I was going to say. He was he was fearful that I was going to be like, absolutely not. You're not going, which was I was quite the opposite. And then obviously as a school, we had to put everything in place to enable, and in some ways because of COVID, he's been able to learn virtually. He's basically joined school here and attended school in Germany. I think his head of year told me that his grades have gone up since he's been away, which is absolutely remarkable. That's the sort of connection. And as I said before, obviously I'm very grateful to Vuk that he's given him such a good experience in what has been, as we've already mentioned, a very unusual year. He went hoping he was going to play in the German Championship for that age, and it was cancelled and then delayed. And so I've got nothing but positive feeling, that he's had such a good experience.
Yes. Everything is delayed. Yeah, everything is delayed until I think so November or something like this. But I think so it's really good experience for your boy, and I'm really big fan for this type of how to say it, this player changes to come to another country, to learn another language, to another culture and everything, to play there and have friends there. I think so. It's a really good opportunity for everyone in the young ages, and then you need to come back and play for your team. I think so. For your player, it's really good. He has a lot of friends here and in a good family, and goes to school. He speaks really good German, and you will see.
So this sounds goes in the direction he's coming back.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, so I think we so many times mentioned these kind of networking around the world during an active career, and which is really helpful then also after the end or after the active career. So you really then took also the advantage for your player then, yeah. So are there any things you can tell us? Give us some insights, maybe from Greece. Anything special? Anything happened right now? So you already mentioned that you're starting the preparation next week. Cool.
Mr. Vlachos didn't answer the question, but I answered
on behalf of him.
Yeah, I answered
the question before for players.
Yeah.
The moment that you say that you want all the players of Olympiacos, everything stopped in my home. Internet.
You were in shock. You just
destroyed everything.
So the network was shocked. Yeah.
My laptop is on fire. Now I cannot. Okay, no, I agree with you. It's not time to speak about all these rumors because usually last seasons from. After Christmas, from January to March, April, in all Europe, we have many transfers, many players go around. So, there are rumors. Probably some of them will be true, but now all the clubs are in the last very important month for the titles, to finish the season the best way. So. I don't think that I want to say something about this. Of course, we're working to prepare the team for the next season because we have to do it now. If we will not do it now, we'll be late in summer. So, but now we have our mind only in what for the rest of the season, for just this month and a half. So that's all. Really, I don't want to mention something more. And I agree with Veiko.
Yeah, so you mentioned during our discussion that there's we already mentioned this at the beginning of the live talk that the last season, really based on Corona and financial crisis and so on, was really a different one. Do you expect also for next season a similar situation, that it's again very difficult, not mainly related financials, but also in terms of teams and
better days because the financial of our club, Olympiacos doesn't have only one sport; has 16 sports. Is really have many sports to all sports, all amateur sports except football and basketball. But we are under the financial of the football. So if the fans will come start again to buy tickets, season tickets for the football, and next season will be, as we know and as we have some information, will be normal in Greece for the football. So we will be water polo, because we speak about water polo. The club of water polo really will be in a better financial situation. So we hope that we can we live back all this half and 2 seasons, and we will have better days, and of course without problems, without any all this about money and
any big issues.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So what is the situation in Croatia then?
Well, as I said, this past period is at least from my point of view above expectations, but certainly the danger is still not gone, and we cannot know what will happen financially speaking after the summer. Next season for the clubs and for the national teams will be difficult because we have a World Championship very soon. I think it's in May or something like that in Japan.
Yes.
So and we still do not have a club calendar for next season, European or domestic one. And certainly we will need to go with the preparation very soon after the Olympic Games, and then see if we can all fit in this shorter period for competition. We have a Champions League, we have of course a national championship, we have a national cup, and we have a regional league which will be very strong next season. Mm-hmm. There are some propositions about the format of competition, but it will be very difficult. And there is a last few seasons really inflation of the games. Maybe too many games. We all the Champions League teams are going over 50 games per season, and this is without national teams, which gives us let's say a headache sometimes. And maybe this is something that we need to talk about in the upcoming seasons. Maybe to reduce so to keep it, let's say, around 40 games during the season. We are still not a sport. I don't think that we are a sport that have it's not so strong to have so many games
in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is really, this more or less similar question to other sports, like football or whatever. So when there are coming new competitions and a new league and in Euro League and in Champions League and a local league and whatever. So there are so many competitions coming up, and the organization is trying to push this into the calendar of each club, so that there's has to be reduced. Yeah. So at the end, it's really the player who's striking at some time in the future. So maybe you mentioned the closed league in Croatia. So maybe this is something we have to work on in Germany because the league is not so close. So maybe in this case, when we would have a closer league in Germany, so we have maybe also a stronger national team at the end. I don't know if there's any connection between these kind of things, but I would imagine that there's a connection between these two.
It would be certainly easier to make a good national team if you have a stronger league. I don't think if we spoke about this on the last podcast, but I said this many times on these occasions. In the last 10, maybe 15 years, I think that the national team level of competitions is usually very, very high. We had some tournaments that were not really up to the quality and the standard of what we need, but we mentioned Olympic Games in London. They were excellent. We had great European Championships in Hungary and in Serbia and in Spain, World Championship. So the national team level is let's say on a high or higher level. But somewhere along the way, we forget about the clubs and club competition, European and domestic ones. And certainly we need more good leagues around Europe and leagues that will produce quality and uncertainty of who will win. For example, the French league from this season or last season that invested in let's say in new players, reinforcements, and they have excellent league. So if we will have, Mr. Vlachos said about the Greek league this season, and this is something what we all need on the national level and also on the international level. To invest, to have some kind of plan for the clubs. And again, I'm speaking on the national level. For example, in Croatia, we need to think about it, but also on the international level to raise the level of, for example, Champions League, and to find a way to invest in those clubs, and not creating the gap between the good ones from the Champions League and the other ones. For us to be the clubs from the Champions League, like someone who will drag all the teams behind it, and help them in some way.
Yeah. So Vuk, maybe you are only aware of the situation in Germany more than we are. So what is the situation in Germany? So are there any plans or any strategies maybe to get the league closer together? So you're working mainly with the younger kids, but they are also forcing then maybe somewhere in the future into the teams of Waspo, Spandau, whatever.
I think so. It's hard to say now, but what I see and what's happened, of course, it's okay. It's not so good, but it's okay. We have just 2 teams, and in both teams there are many players from other countries, and I think so. This is not a problem. This is, I think so, really good thing in these clubs, but I think so they need to have more kids in the first teams, more kids from this club, and not to every time to take some new one, and there's no place for any other kid from Germany, and the all other teams, they're, I think so, level 3 or 4 under these 2 teams, and I think so this is not a good strategy in this league. A few years ago you had Duisburg really strong, Hanover was okay, Spandau was really good, but Duisburg had really good and lot of players in the national team. So I think so 2004 was the Olympics in Greece. Germany was place 5. And it was good. It was not so bad. So the players playing until 2010, 11, and that's it. Now it's stopped. Like you don't have so strong players incoming, and I don't know where is the problem now, because we don't go to Olympics game for third time in a row, and I think so it would be a problem in our federation. But yeah, I'm a coach. What I can tell you, I'm doing my best. I learn I teach my kids to play a good water polo. So I think so that one day when they are going to play for the first team, that it would be they're going to be a good player. So this is just my dream and my work, but I don't know what's happened with the league.
Yeah, so I think we discussed this several times during the last couple of weeks and months, saying that there are really 2 aspects. Yeah, so that you have to be be in the Champions League like Waspo and Spandau, and this is maybe not happening, or you're not able to reach these targets only with German players. Yeah, and on the other hand, when you have the chance to play maybe in the young ages for 2 clubs at one time, yeah, for both clubs, you are able to train with these kind of stars, for example, or very good players. So there are definitely some advantages or good points for the development for the teams. But as you mentioned, it's not easy when you have each time or for the next 3 years something in front of you where you're not able to get his position, maybe. So we already reached so we are talking about over 1 hour at least at the moment. So really to give you some time back, and it's Friday evening, so just to let you go into the weekend. So I don't want to waste your time here anymore. So are there any last words? It's maybe not the right sentences, but are there any last informations, any last infos from you on your side? Any last comments for the audiences? No.
No.
Silence.
No. Thanks everyone for watching us. If there is any who watched us,
So we have at least, I see the number of 10 live visitors. So it shows the past that more of the people are really looking this or not on demand or not live. So they are able to watch this on Facebook and YouTube each time in the future they want. So the number is hopefully increasing over the weekend. At least also the number of podcast downloads. So we reached the 10,000 downloads last couple of weeks. So it's really a big number, at least for me personally. So I not really imagined that I reached these kind of numbers 1 year ago. So when I started the podcast.
Great. Congratulations to you. And thank you for inviting us. So
thanks for coming. So this is not at least. So I'm only the organizer of these kind of stuff. So I'm happy to do it again. So
listen, Andreas, thank you because you gave us free summer in Volos. So thank you very much.
Of course, this is
we're gonna bring presents. But we have a free vacation in Greece. So
it was my pleasure to give you.
Signed a contract today. So this is. You are really welcome to Volos anytime, but all together, not one by one. All together, you have to meet each other there. So really, you will see that Vuk has a right and he knows everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at least when we're able to travel again next week, so next year, hopefully. So we can share at least from Hanover the car. So we only have to use one car, maybe in this case. It's getting cheaper. So again, thanks for your time. So I wish you all the best. You're thinking of weekend. So thanks. To the UK, to Croatia, to Greece, and to Potsdam.
Thank you one more time for hosting us in your show. Really, thank you.
Each time again, so you're welcome. I will schedule something again, maybe.
Anytime you want.
Yeah.
Cool. So I wish you a nice weekend and talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast episode is presented to you by the Perfect Goalie Academy, powered by Mieze, your partner for targeted and individual goalkeeper training. Check out the website www.theperfectgoalie.com for more information.